Hi guys, welcome back to another timeless reading. This is filmed on Saturday, June the 14th, 2025. Today we're pulling from the Beauty of Horror Tarot cards. This is an awesome deck, especially if you love horror. Just trying to get the angles right here. So we're starting off with the Magician. As we move forward, it's like you possess everything that you need to sit there and move forward. I feel like more knowledge. I feel like if you watch the Stepping Forward card, if you follow my channel, it's all about like kind of like you were in this healing mode. You were in a hermit mode, staying in isolation. You know, you're probably, working a lot at your 9 to 5 job, but I feel like it's like, you know what I mean? It's practicing self-love, kind of coming into your own, maybe practicing a new skill. I feel like it's at the baby stages, so this may be something coming in now. Like, I'm watching The Witcher that's on Netflix, and they keep on saying, like, to receive you, it has to come at a cost, where she sat there to, like, to elevate the rock, the flower had to die. So some of us, it's like, maybe you went through something through your childhood, and this is what brought in your abilities. You know what I mean? I know that's not everybody's story, but I feel like a lot of people that have the ability, the gift of sight, the gift of hearing, like if you read any spiritual book, it's like those that can see, let them see. Those that can hear, let them hear. I know a lot of, that's just mental illness. But maybe because you don't understand and you're only supposed to live a mediocre life on Earth. You're just supposed to be like a robot here. You grow up, you live a mediocre life, and then that's it for you. Not all of us are here to live that kind of mediocre life. It's not mental illness, I don't like people saying that. It's like, we don't sit there and say those. The only reason I say that is because I hate people that poop on people. It's like, you know what? Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean you need to belittle it. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I know this person is harsh with their words. They are a comedian, but they're very. I feel like that's very disgusting to say. It's like you sit there and generalize. Yeah, there are people on TikTok or any social media app that will get a tarot deck and give us a bad name. They will take advantage of people. But at the same time, it's just like, there are good people that are here with a purpose and are here to help others, get on their journey. So that's the only reason I'm so harsh. But I feel like this is why he has a hat and he's about to pull something out of the hat. That's why I was like, I feel like you're going to come into something here where it's a new gift, a new ability, more insight. You know what I mean? Like, Stepping Forward, I feel like was that as well. Is that this rebirth? We have Judgment, and here we're talking about clairvoyance, clairaudience, leveling up. I know some people are ascending to state like the 5D. So I don't know if I'm necessarily at that stage, but I feel like it's just being thankful and having more understanding, being called to certain things. We have the moon, so we literally had the full moon on Wednesday, and I feel like this is going forward. I feel like full moon, waxing crescent, or like waning crescent, heading into the new moon. I feel like there's this cycle, you know what I mean? And again, they're howling, you know what I mean? Like the wolf moon, calling in your tribe, setting boundaries again, but calling back in your people. So this could be people coming back into your life. They're showing the Ace of Cups. Your cup runneth over. I feel like new blessings are coming in. I feel like, especially with myself, I was like, let me do this. I've been called to do offerings, and it resonates more and more every single Shabbat. So, there is this beautiful blue carnival glass that we got, and they have beautiful goblets. So you can see it here. I don't drink wine personally, so, grape juice or wine, and doing a offering. We started doing an offering plate, and they keep on showing me this one thing. So I feel like because we're coming into summer solstice next weekend, I feel like this is where it's like, we're coming into this brand new season, this brand new beginning, and I feel like every day is an opportunity to start over again. But every day is an opportunity to break a habit or start a new habit. You know what I mean? So I feel like with summer solstice, it's like, what do you want the summer season to bring you? You know what I mean? What are you asking for? They're saying, what are you expecting? I feel like it's just like, I love this earth. I love the beauty. I love the creation and all the blessings that are in it. But I feel like because of the things going on, I just feel like hell is earth in a lot of things, especially if you're going through the spiritual endeavors, and it's like, for certain things for you to ascend, some things have to give, or something has to give, which is unfortunate. They're showing celebrations though. So for a lot of people, this is celebrating Father's Day, and I feel it, or celebrating the summer solstice. I feel like, if for both holidays, you know what I mean? Mother's Day or Father's Day. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, give yourself a pat on the back, for going through that battle by yourself. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people they're going through that, and it's, you know what I mean? As much as a blessing it is to have these, littles in our life, we're very lucky, very blessed, because how many people would literally do a uterus transplant if they could? This is something that's new technology that's coming in. A lot of people struggle with surrogacy, IVF. It's just like, they would give their right arm for, I feel like that's why Spirit is just like, showing gratitude. It's like, what we have and what I don't feel like we're crapping on. It's just, we know what we want. We've seen where we're heading. We saw the life that we're going to have. And it's like, we're striving for that. It's not that we don't appreciate where we are or what we're blessed with, because, myself, 8 years ago, I couldn't even imagine being where I am now. You know what I mean? So it's just like, in this moment, it's like, it may not be perfect, but it's perfectly imperfect. And it's like, let's be thankful for this moment that we're here now. Because, in another, 6 months, I'm seeing the number 6. I don't think it's 6 years. I believe it's 6 months. But moving forward, 6 to 8 months, it's just like, wow, remember when this? Because it was bringing in this. Like, you needed to be where you are right now for what's to come in, Don't future trip. Live in this moment. That is the biggest blessing I ever got. I will give credit where credit is due. Chris from The SIP with Ryland Adams and Lizzie Gordon. He's their producer. He is like the sweetest soul ever. And he sat there and shared that. And Ryland asked him, he's like, what did you learn in therapy today? And they're like, isn't that kind of personal? And he goes, we learned not to future trip. And me and Chris are exactly the same like that. And it's just like, instead of worrying about a year from now or a month from now, he's like, the furthest I'm allowed to think is 2 weeks. And I sit there, and when I start doing that to myself, I'm like, you know what? No. We're living in this moment right here, right now. We're being grateful for all that is in this moment. And what is in front of me, the task at hand, I sat there and it's like, oh, I have to get this done. And I'm like, no. If I'm able to get that done today, it will get done today. If it doesn't, it's okay. It'll get done another day. I know sometimes we have timelines for certain things or if people put timelines on us that have to be done in a certain time. I understand that. But with finishing Staying the Deck, it got done this week. Thank God. That's why I'm not posting as much as, I'm posting dailies and stuff like that. Anyone that follows my channel knows that. But it's just like, daily card readings or something like that. So they're showing the 3 of Wands. You are supported by Spirit. So these are bonus cards. So we are showing the celebration. So it's like, if you're, the battles that we never talk about, the world is going through major battles. It's like, our elected officials are turning against their own citizens. I don't care if you were born here, because not all of us were imported in here. I don't care if it was your great-grandmother, whoever it was. You know what I mean? But it's like people that, their blood, sweat, and tears to make, this, wherever you live great. And you're turning around and doing that. Israel just started launching, missiles on Iran. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's never a moment's peace. You know what I mean? But I feel like, unfortunately, this is to fulfill other things. So I love this. Dancing King, 4 of Wands, moving places. I feel like it's just like, kind of like with myself, I'm in awe. Every time I come on to post. Oh, it's kind of going blurry there. My hands are full. I love that. I love this crown. It's kind of like congratulating yourself for promotion. You know what I mean? Or giving you your flowers. But it's just like, the storm clouds are clearing. I feel like it's just like, I love Pastor West because a lot of things that he's been saying have been happening. He's like, you will not have to borrow money. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I've changed my habits, because some of the times the problems that we have are what we do. So not spending, I'm not, getting takeout food as often. That was my own thing. I will blame where the blame goes. You know what I mean? And it's like changing those habits, and it's like Spirit sees that, because I want that change. One thing was fulfilled this year, which is great. You know what I mean? It kind of left me in a bind with everything else, but it's like, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's just like, keep pushing forward, keep moving forward. Yeah, it is. It feels like scarcity. It feels like lack. And it's just like, but, there's other things where they kind of take the, blinders off, and it's like, but there's other things here. You know what I mean? It's just like, just a little bit longer, It's, help was on the way. Elijah was sent to that woman. It was her last bit of flour or last bit of oil. And he asked her to cook him some cakes, and she said, I don't have enough. And he's like, I promise you, you will have enough and then some. And it lasted her 6 to 8 months. 6 to 8 weeks. Oh, they mentioned 6 to 8 before. So, kind of going in alignment with that. They're showing the Wheel of Fortune. Things are moving forward. I know for a while it didn't feel like that for a while. So it's just like things are moving forward. Going back to replenish. We got to sit there and take care of ourselves. I feel like this is where they're showing, like, you pour from your cup to everybody else. But I feel like this is where Spirit is like, we will fill your cup. So like I said, this week coming up, like I work tomorrow. I'm off Monday until next Monday. I'm on vacation. So if you're looking for a summer reading, now's the time to get it, because I have the week off. So get that in. Shabbat is still regular Shabbat hour, sunset to sunset on Friday. And I'm busy on Sunday. So if you want to get it in, this week is the time to get it in. First come, first serve. So we're going to enter cards on the 7 of Cups. And I don't feel like this is kind of like make a choice and then other doors will close. I just feel like you're going to be shocked with everything coming in. I just feel like it's like one thing after another coming in. You know what I mean? The things that you didn't think that would come in. You know what I mean? Like Corey Keshin talked about this. And I am so incredibly grateful to all of you that like and subscribe and interact with my posts. And some of you are so sweet enough to sit there and send me stars on Facebook to show your support. So it's like every single platform, like, you know what I mean? I just talk about Facebook because it is just, I guess my page was on private, I'm not sure. But, it's like ever since that setting has changed, it's just like how many people I've reached. Yeah, some people are, gonna make their doo-doo comments, but you know what I mean? It's just like, with a flick of the hand, when Guardian Leminosa, bibbidi bobbidi boo, away with you, you know what I mean? So I try to keep all my platforms positive, enlightenment, healing, things that will, lift up your spirit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on. If you're like myself where you get anxious, it's like, limit to what you surround yourself with, what you hear, what you see, what you feel. So you know what I mean? Like everything is grounded. Replenish. This is your time to replenish. And I feel like with this turn to summer, I feel like that's again with the 7 of Cups over here. I feel like this is like you asked for these things. So I feel like you're going to be pulled in many directions, but I feel like you're going to love this. This is exactly what you prayed for. Hopefully your wordings were properly, because sometimes we ask for things and it's like, ugh, didn't think about that. You know what I mean? So keep it light, easy, breezy, lemon squeezy. If you're finishing school, I know a lot of the homeschooling kids or the kids that start school in like August are already out, but it's like, enjoy this time. This is a time of replenishment. This is a time to get your house in order. If you're purging or if you're donating or if you're selling or whatever it is, it's like, this is the time to get your house in order, get your projects done, and enjoy your summer. This is what it's about. Enjoy life. Enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? If you're being called to sit there and do an offering plate, it's out for 3 days. And then if you're able to have like a fire, throw it in the fire, because no one's supposed to consume it. If not, then throw it in the garbage. You know what I mean? But it's just like whatever you feel compelled to. What your soul is calling, what is your soul waking you up to, is where they want to pull you into next. This is the rebirth of summer. This is about a time of growth. planting little seedlings in you, and we're about to sit there and have those seedlings bloom, and it's just going to be such a yield when we get to end this 3 months. They're saying 68 weeks, 68 months. I don't think it's years. I think this is something that's going to happen, within a due good time, just like they were talking about Elijah there. And he said, yeah, I surely tell you, it will last 6 to 8. Even though sometimes we feel like we're getting pushed by the edge of the cliff, our fears and everything else, this is a time where you're being called to do things. It's like, listen to it. You know what I mean? And keep moving forward. And watch how you grow and bloom. And we'll see how it goes. We'll check back in at that time, and we'll sit there and celebrate, all the accomplishments. So I hope you guys enjoyed this timeless reading. We'll see you for the next one. May the universe bless you good.